The night wraps itself around the village, a thick blanket of fog and shadow. Here, cobblestone streets, slick with moisture, snake between crooked houses, their shapes lost in the dark. Above it all, the moon hangs like a pale, watchful eye. At the very edge of this sleeping world stands the old church, a relic of forgotten times. Its stone walls are a tapestry of cracks and moss, telling stories of centuries weathered by storm and silence. The spire, a dark finger pointing at the stars, holds the legend of the village, the old church bell. For decades it has been mute. Its bronze, once gleaming, is now a dull, rusted canvas of neglect. It's a monument to silence, a symbol of a past that no longer speaks. The wind, a lonely traveler, whispers through the shattered stained glass windows, carrying the scent of damp earth and rotting wood. It's a place of endings, not beginnings. The only sound is the distant, mournful hoot of an owl, a punctuation mark in the deep stillness of the night. As we draw closer to the church tower, the darkness within reveals faint, desperate scratches on the walls. These are the marks of abandonment, the last whispers of a place long given over to ghosts and memories. The silence is absolute, heavy, and profound, and then it happens. A sound that should not be. A deep, resonant clang tears through the night. It's sudden, sharp, and utterly impossible. The broken bell has tolled. Its sound rolls across the valley, a wave of cold vibration that washes over the sleeping village. It's a sound both haunting and hypnotic, a melody of dread. Inside the small cottages, people stir from their sleep. Unease spreads like a fever. It can't be, a voice mutters into the darkness. The bell is broken. Windows rattle in their frames. Dogs, sensing something ancient and wrong, begin to bark. A few brave souls, their curiosity warring with their fear, cautiously step outside. The moonlight throws their shadows long and distorted against the walls, twisting their faces into masks of confusion and fright. Each toll of the bell feels heavy, like it carries a message from a world beyond our own, a message no one yet understands. Inside the church tower, the old wooden ladder groans, protesting a weight it cannot see. Motes of dust, undisturbed for years, dance wildly in the thin shafts of moonlight, agitated by a sudden, invisible movement. The bell's hammer strikes again. The tone is deeper this time, more ominous, sending shudders through the very stones of the crumbling tower. We see the rope, frayed and lifeless, dangling uselessly. The mechanism is frozen with rust, a tangle of metal that has no right to move, let alone produce a sound so powerful. And yet the bell rings on, as if played by a ghostly hand. Every detail screams impossibility. The rusted bolts that should hold it fast, the cracked wood of its frame, the faint gleam of moonlight on its tarnished surface. It's a defiance of logic, a miracle of terror. Back in the village, an old man, his face a roadmap of wrinkles, grips his walking stick. He leans against a fence, his eyes fixed on the distant tower. "It's the old legend," he whispers, his voice barely audible above the wind. "The bell tolls for something bad." Children, sensing the adults' fear, hide behind their mothers, their small faces peeking out from doorways. The air is thick with a tension you can almost taste, a cocktail of fear and fascination. A sudden, violent gust of wind howls through the village, rattling doors and shutters as if trying to get in. And with it, another clang from the bell. This one is longer, more drawn out, a sound that could almost be described as mournful. High above, the bell is a dark silhouette against the full moon, swinging gently, rhythmically, pushed by an unseen force. Its toll resonates not just in the air, but in the chests of everyone who hears it. It feels like a warning, a prophecy of tragedy. The world seems to slow down. Our focus is on the bell, its lonely swing, and the creeping fog that swirls around the churchyard below. The shadows of the tower stretch like grasping fingers, merging with the mist. In the distance, a figure appears, a lone villager, drawn from their home by the impossible sound, now frozen, staring at the spectacle. We see their hands tremble, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and horror. The very rhythm of the scene mimics a beating heart, pounding faster and faster as the mystery deepens. The bell tolls one last time. This clang is different. It's deliberate, precise. It sounds less like a random peal and more like a coded message, an intelligent communication from the other side. The sound hangs in the air, each vibration a question mark. As the final echo fades into the cold, silent night, a single chilling thought remains. settling over the village like a shroud. As dawn breaks, the sky blushes with orange and pink, a gentle start to a day that will be anything but. In our quiet village, the night's mist lifts, but an unseen chill remains, a lingering echo of a midnight bell that should never have rung. People emerge from their homes, not with the usual morning bustle, but with a cautious quiet. Their whispers are hushed, their glances stolen, all directed towards one place. The Grand Harrington estate perched on the hill, its silhouette now a symbol of dread. The camera guides you through cobblestone streets, where even the dogs seem to sense the unease, whining softly in the yards. Look up on the hill, the Harrington mansion. Its wrought iron gates, usually a sign of stately elegance, now seem like teeth in a grim smile. But today something is terribly wrong. Yellow police tape flutters like a morbid ribbon, a stark contrast against the stone. Officers and anxious villagers cluster at the entrance, their faces painted with a mixture of shock and morbid curiosity. The air is thick, not just with morning dew, but with questions. Let's step inside. We glide through opulent hallways, past gilded frames and beneath crystal chandeliers. The morning light streams in, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. But it can't dispel the oppressive weight that fills this house. Every gleaming surface, every rich tapestry, seems to hold its breath. We're moving towards the study, the heart of the mansion, and now, the heart of a tragedy. Here, in this room of leather and old books, chaos has found a home. The master of the house, the wealthy and influential Mr. Harrington, is slumped over his desk. His hand, still clutching a pen, hovers over an open ledger. It's as if time itself seized him in his final moment. A toppled chair, papers scattered like fallen leaves. An overturned inkwell bleeding black onto a priceless rug, all silent witnesses to a struggle. We look closer. The intricate carving on the desk, the faint smudge of ink across a page, and the look frozen on Mr. Harrington's face. A mask of pure surprise, and underneath it, a chilling touch of fear. Every shadow, every reflection, is a piece of the puzzle. Outside, the village is a hive of speculation. An old woman clutches her shawl, her lips moving in silent prayer. Children, with the unfiltered curiosity of youth, peek from behind garden fences, their wide eyes reflecting the fear of the adults. The whispers travel like wildfire on the breeze. Who could do such a thing, one asks. Was it the bell? I heard it too, another murmurs. It's a curse, insists a third. Each whispered word weaves another thread into the growing tapestry of fear and mystery. But amidst the chaos, there are clues for those who know where to look. A broken window latch almost invisible. A single faint footprint preserved in the morning dew. A subtle trace of mud on the polished floor of the grand entrance, so easily overlooked. The camera follows a steady hand, a hand holding a pen, making meticulous notes in a small book. This hand belongs to our village's sharpest mind, Miss Marple. She has arrived, and her calm demeanor is a stark contrast to the surrounding panic. Her eyes, however, miss nothing. They dart from the position of the fallen chair to the angle of the scattered papers, piecing together the story that the room is trying to tell. The link to that impossible sound is undeniable. Though the sun is now high in the sky, the shadow of that midnight bell toll lingers. A sound that had no reason to be, a sound that has now become an omen of death. We watch Miss Marple as she moves. She doesn't touch anything, not yet. She absorbs the scene, her mind a whirlwind of logic and intuition, connecting the fragments that everyone else has dismissed as unimportant. She takes a deep breath, stepping back to see the entire grim picture, her first deductions already taking shape. The villagers' faces tell their own stories. Fear, suspicion, grief, it's all there. A man nervously wipes his hands on his trousers. A young woman's hand trembles as it covers her mouth, stifling a gasp. Their reactions, their hidden histories with the deceased, are all part of this unfolding drama. Everyone in this village is now a character in Mr. Harrington's final chapter. As we pull back, the morning sun casts long, dramatic shadows from the mansion's walls. In the distance, the old church bell tower stands silent, a stark stone sentinel. The mystery has just begun. A man is dead, an impossible bell has tolled, and in this peaceful village, a killer walks among us. The question is who? The morning sun climbs higher, casting its warm but uneven light across the village. The air is still, yet thick with tension, humming with whispers of speculation and unease. Villagers linger near the Harrington estate, their eyes darting between one another and the grand mansion, as if expecting the walls themselves to finally speak the truth. It is in this fragile moment that Miss Marple makes her entrance. A small, unassuming figure, yet one whose very presence commands attention. We see her first steps through the village, a gentle gait, hands clasped neatly behind her back, a folded notebook tucked securely under one arm. Her gray hair is pulled into a tidy bun, and a pair of sharp, alert eyes scan everything around her. Villagers pause their hushed conversations, recognizing the familiar figure whose reputation for insight and deduction precedes her. Children peek from behind fences, curious but respectful, sensing that this quiet woman may hold the key to unraveling the morning's tragedy. The camera follows Miss Marple as she approaches the mansion, her gaze noting details others might easily dismiss. A broken flower pot on the steps, a smudge of mud on the polished path, a faint indentation in the soft carpet near the grand double doors, all subtle clues that hint at the events of the night before. Her gloved fingers brush lightly against surfaces, feeling textures, noting inconsistencies. Her expression remains calm, yet every glance carries the intensity of a mind already piecing together a puzzle no one else can even see. As she enters the mansion, we're greeted by an interior panorama, the opulent study, with its towering bookcases, rich velvet drapes, and polished wood furniture, all bathed in the soft morning light. Dust motes float lazily in the sunbeams, disturbed only by her quiet presence. The scattered papers, the overturned chair, and the open ledger all draw her immediate attention. This subtle disarray tells a story that must be read carefully, step by step. Miss Marple kneels by the desk, examining its surface with meticulous care. The camera zooms in on her actions. She observes the angle of the inkpot spill, the precise position of the pen, and the faint, almost invisible fingerprints on the ledger pages. A close-up captures her eyes narrowing slightly, a small frown forming as she considers the timing and sequence of events. Every detail is a thread, and in her mind she begins to trace the pattern. Where others saw chaos, Miss Marple saw patterns. Where others saw confusion, she saw intention. The subtle misalignments, the quiet disturbances in the room, they all spoke to her of a carefully orchestrated plan. And she knew that the midnight bell, broken though it was, held a secret just waiting to be discovered. Outside, the villagers are still murmuring, their anxious glances fixed on the mansion. The door opens slightly as Miss Marple steps out onto the veranda to observe the grounds. Her eyes sweep over the garden, the driveway, and the surrounding walls. She notes the footprints leading to a side entrance, the trampled flower beds, and a faint streak of mud near the servants' quarters. Each observation is catalogued silently, forming a mental map of movements that no one else has yet considered. A series of close-up shots highlight her detective instincts in action. A slightly ajar window, a tiny ribbon caught on the fence, a faint shadow across the polished floors that doesn't quite belong. The camera lingers on each object as she pauses, her gaze sharp and unbroken. The faint hum of morning life mixes with the lingering echo of that impossible midnight bell, underlining the tension. Miss Marple opens her notebook, sketching a simple diagram of the mansion's study and the locations of key objects. She whispers softly to herself, connecting dots that are invisible to everyone else. The bell's strange toll, the timing of the murder, and the carefully manipulated alibi. We see a close-up of her hand drawing lines that trace the sequence of events, her pen moving with precision and quiet confidence. To anyone else it was a simple, tragic murder, but Miss Marple knew better. The broken bell, the shuffled papers, the unnoticed marks, all were pieces of a puzzle far more intricate than anyone could imagine. And she intended to solve it. The scene closes with Miss Marple standing by the study window, looking out toward the distant church bell. We see the contrast, the silent, broken bell in the morning light, and the detective's sharp gaze that already sees its story. The tension hangs in the air, a promise that the mystery will unfold, piece by piece. Every detail mattered. Every movement had a purpose. And somewhere in the shadows of that mansion and the village beyond, the truth waited ready to reveal itself to the sharpest mind in the village. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to see how this mystery unravels.